Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Burney are taking a look at the feature race at Santa Anita on Saturday. The Grade 3 Las Cienegas Stakes. We're going down the hill at 6.5 furlongs. If you sign up to DRF Bets, because they sponsor our stakes previews, don't you know? $200 free bet, no deposit required when you go to drf.com/join and use the promo code FREEBET09. Let's meet the fillies and mares scheduled to go down the hill for $100,000. We're carded as race number 7. Matt, two horses, the two favorites on the morning line, the two Bendable, the 9 Beau Recall. I don't think you'd argue that they're the most accomplished horses in this race, but they have a lot of questions to answer.
You know, and I guess even having said that, I don't know, just because they're the most accomplished, I don't think that means that they deserve to be very, very clear-cut favorites in this spot. Bendable is that kind of filly that, you know what, she's got the pedigree. It looks like she should be able to do anything. I've always been a little bit underwhelmed by what she's done on the track, and everybody knows that I've had a fascination and a love for Beau Recall, and I have to be honest, I'm starting to get to the point where I don't know if she's as good as I thought she was, and I'm certainly, for me anyway, it's red flags when we're going from 10 furlongs to 6.5.
Bendable is a graded stakes winner on dirt. This is going to be her turf debut for a master trainer in Richard Mandella. We have a very limited positive formulator fact for Mandella concerning Bendable. Then Matt's going to chime in with a negative one. Past year, older horses moving from dirt to turf, well, 20%, but a positive return on investment.
But if you want to go to the flip side, the past 3 years, first-time turf sprinting, 2 for 36 with an 88-cent ROI. I mean, you look at it, she's got a little bit of turf pedigree in here. She's a half to Fueled by Bourbon, who was a nice sort of turf runner. Full to Clearly Now, who's one of my favorites. But other than that, there's not a ton of turf in there, and it just makes me look at it and say, they're throwing their hands up because they don't know what she can do anymore.
Mixed bag with formulator facts, and I agree, a little bit of a mixed bag with the pedigree. Dan was stakes placed on turf a couple of times. She's foaled 3 turf winners. 2 of them won first time out on the turf. But those 2 turf horses were by Stroll. Bendable, like Clearly Now, who's a dirt horse mostly,
for sure,
by Horse Greeley, and Horse Greeley's only 2 for 55 with first-time turf runners.
Yeah, I just kind of look at this horse and say, no matter what price she's going to be, to me, she has to be an underlay in here. She may win the race, but to me, again, from a value standpoint, it's non-existent.
Now, Beau Recall is a Grade 1 placed turf horse, but that was in the Del Mar Oaks going 9 furlongs. Beau Recall did win her maiden sprinting overseas, probably more testing 7 furlongs than she's going to face in this sharp downhill 6.5, and she's turning all the way back from 1.25 miles to 6.5. I think 1.25 miles is too far. I am worried that 6.5 is a bit short, especially since there won't be a blazing 42 and change pace signed on.
She's just, and even if there isn't going to be that kind of crazy speed, she's going to get completely outrun. She's going to be coming from last. I mean, I'll be stunned if she's not coming from last. I guess at the very worst she could be, other than that, would be a little bit farther, closer than that, but still, she's going to be coming from way out of it. I suppose maybe she's just simply the best horse in the race. At a shortish number. I'm going to make her prove it to me.
In Brad Free's race advance on DRF.com, trainer Bill Morey told him the Kanaya got a little bit sore after running second in the graded Desert Stormer Stakes on dirt. Her prior performance was a good runner-up effort behind a talented filly in Illuminant in the Grade 2 Monrovia going down the hill. She's got good tactical speed, and in a race lacking much pace, our friends at Timeform US believe that she's going to be up close.
I think she's the horse to beat in this race because she could be forwardly placed. There's a scenario where she can clear off to the front. You get Kent DeSormo. Kent is riding in just phenomenal form, particularly going down the hill. And again, the fact that she's not one going down the hill, both of her runs down the hill, though, they're both winning efforts, in my opinion, even with a little bit of a softer pace, going back to that misdirection. The Monrovia, I thought, was perfectly fine. I think this is a filly that's got a ton of ability. I'm not going to be surprised at all. I think she is the horse to beat.
Instant Reflex, the number 8. We see her right up and on the lead, along with the 1 and the 7 and the Timeform pace projector. Nice debut going down the hill last time out in an entry-level optional claiming race. She stayed close. She was able to finish. The buyer of 84 is a bit light, but she can build on it. This is only start number 6.
I was going to say, start number 6, second start off the bench, a winning effort for Jim Cassidy off that little bit of a layoff. I think there are a lot of things to like. If you don't have any faith in the ability of the outside horse Beau Recall at the distance, you don't have any faith in Bendable on turf, you think that Kanaya is more of a nibbler than necessarily a win candidate, why not take the up-and-coming horse that's in good form?
The 7, Proper Discretion, is another horse with good early speed. She's an Ohio bred. You throw out her last race in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, where she was 74-1 for a reason, and I think the jury's still out as to whether she can step on turf. She's tried it once before, but it was a distance farther than what she wants to go in a race that featured Bar of Gold, who won the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about her, there's a fair amount of turf winners among her siblings, so that part kind of allays any sort of fears, and also the fact that in that one turf race, the De La Rose, she was out there on the front cutting out the fractions. If I like horses turning back going down the hill, I like them to show some speed going long. because they're not going to get completely outrun early on. And I think they're going to have a little bit of finish.
Proper discretion also in the hands of a very dangerous trainer, Phil D'Amato. Here's a positive formulator fact. 36% big ROI over the past 4 years with older horses moving from dirt to turf off a moderate-sized layoff. Angel Alley broke through last time out on October the 28th in an entry-level allowance race. Big 86 Beyer speed figure. I'm going to take that Beyer with a grain of salt. I think that was a pace-aided Beyer. They went real fast early, and this horse couldn't have gotten a better ride from Tyler Bates, just shooting on through along the inside and never lost any ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, like you say, from a pace dynamic, she had red fractions according to Timeform US to close at. That obviously helps her cause. But I'm going to make the same case that I made for Instant Reflex. If you like Instant Reflex and you don't have all the sort of faith in the world in the proven commodities, why not take the lightly raced ones with some upside?
The number 4, Princess, turns back in distance. We do like cutbacks going down the hill, but this horse hasn't gotten much faster in her last few races. She's only 2 for 21 lifetime, and while she is stakes placed at 6.5 on the turf at Woodbine, she hasn't won in a long time.
No, I was going to say, a long time between drinks. I suppose second off the bench, a little bit of a turn back for Baltus. Maybe this is a positive move. At the same time, she's just not my cup of tea.
How do you view the 5 Miss Southern Miss? The last 2 races, they haven't been very good, but can you make the argument that they were 2 route races? And I know she's a stakes winner going a mile, but the last time she sprinted down the hill, she was at least okay off a long layoff?
Yeah, I'm really perplexed by her because I thought she was going to be a monster when she came back to the races. I actually picked her in the Unzip Me when we did that stakes preview, and I thought she ran okay, not great. And then her 2 subsequent turf routes were just horrific. I don't know what you're going to get out of her, and I kind of wonder if Keith DeSormo is trying to turn her back and just wake her up again.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the feature race at Santa Anita on Saturday, the Grade 3 Las Cienegas Stakes. You're going with Anita Partner, and I like Anita Partner a lot. She really ran well down the hill. She's a course specialist. Here's my one concern. I hope you can answer it for me so I can throw her in any kind of exotic bets. Where's the speed gone?
Well, I guess I would look at it and say she never really had speed to begin with. Just because she had that one race where she was forwardly placed going down the hill, if you look at the Timeform pace race, they were crawling out there. They were not moving. You look at these other races where there's a more honest pace, she's 3 or 4 lengths out of it. I love the fact that I've picked her a couple times, I think, in these stakes previews that we've done. She loves going down the hill. She's 2 for 5 at the distance. She's 5 for 5 in the money. I'm not concerned about the layoff. I think Mullins does a good job. Bays stays aboard here. He's ridden her in the past to victory, and that was in that non-winners of 2. I think there's a lot to like here. She's the kind of horse for me that I don't trust the other horses that we've talked about. The up-and-comers, I think, are a little bit light. I don't think they're quite as good. If she runs her race, I think Anita Partner has every right to win. To me, it's her, and it's also the speed horse down the inside, Kanaya.
The last 3 times Tyler's been aboard Anita Partner has won. Yeah. You could make the argument that in that Kanaya race, the Monrovia, her last start down the hill, she was best. She just fell so far behind. Yeah. She was really motoring at the end of that race. And maybe the fact that we don't see that red bar fast pace on the Timeform US pace projector allows Anita Partner to be closer and get the jump on maybe some of the true closers like my top pick, Bo Recall, who I just think might be the best one.
That's fair.
I can't take anything less than the morning line, though, 7-2, because she has broken our hearts so many times in the past.
And you know what? Having said that, I don't know what kind of price she's going to be, because it is such
She could be the favorite. She could be 4-1.
Yeah, it's such a peculiar move where it really does feel like, and I don't know, maybe this is just a stopgap to get to a more favorable distance if you don't think the 10 furlongs is her friend. It just, whenever I see such a dramatic cutback in distance or a dramatic extension in distance, I'm always thinking, what's the motive here? What's the end game?
Okay, you're going to go 6-1-9-8. You're getting 6-1 on the morning line for Anita Partner. You definitely play her to win. What about multis?
Yeah, in multis, I want to use her. I want to use Kanaya. I think she has a major player in here. I guess as backups, I would probably throw in Bo Recall just because, it would be fitting enough of all the times that I lost with Bo Recall that if I don't use her, she wins and beats me. I have the 8 listed as 4th, but I got to be honest, she's one of the up-and-comers. I don't think she's quite ready for this.
She's a race, for you, just a single race bottom exotic type, like a triple or a superfecta. I have one of those in my picks as well. 9-1-3-6 from a single race standpoint, but in multiple race wagers, I want the 1, the 6, and the 9. I'll leave the 3 only for the bottom of my single race exotics. And again, I'll take 7-2. Nothing less than that on the 9 Bo Recall. Again, if you're playing the feature at Santa Anita from home, $200 free bet. No deposit required. DRF.com/join. Promo code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for the 7th at the Great Race Place, 3:30 Pacific. Good luck.